So today I'll be introducing to you the PhD course that we are offered at IITs.
So what is the first step of getting into a PhD in prestigious institutions like the IITs?
Well, I think the first and the foremost step is that you have to have an exam qualified. Like, you need a national exam. You need to have gotten through a national exam, and you need to have a scorecard. And by scorecard, I don't really mean that the scorecard is what is important here. No, because you have to get through an interview, which is the second most important step here. So the important thing is that you need to have the exam qualified, and then you need to qualify an interview, which is set by the IIT as a way to get into PhD.
Okay, so do different institutions have their own set of exams, national exams, or there's a common national exam that is applicable to all the institutions across India?
Well, again, I think it varies. Like, there is a national exam, and then various institutes may hold their own exams as well. For IIT, it's like if you have an exam, if you have a national exam, and then you may just have to get through an interview. That's all.
Okay. So what do you think is the most important thing that a person should know before entering a long and a strenuous program like a PhD?
Those words are right, actually. It's a long and it's a strenuous program, because you have to live here, like live in this program for continuous 5 years, and that's not a small period of time. You have to be taking these 5 years out of your life, and wherein you are concentrating the most in your PhD, because this is a time when you have to decide your your objective, and then you have to live through achieving that objective. And many people actually think that why is it a 5 years course, which is that you don't have to just, it's not like you aim for something and then you have everything available. No, it's not like that. You make an aim, and that's a preliminary aim, and then as you go doing your PhD, you realize that your aims and your objectives change. Like, you learn things that add to maybe changing your topic completely. So it's more like there's always a the constant change happening in PhD, and you're constantly learning and constantly, I think, changing as a person as well. So yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for that enlightenment. I would also like to know that what should a person expect once they get into a program like PhD? Like, can you give me a bit of an idea about the expectations versus reality?
Yes, I think that varies from institute to institute and lab to lab, like wherever you're working, department to department, and the person you're working under. So I think your guide is the most important decision that you make in your PhD, apart from the topic that you're working on. I think these are the two, they go hand in hand. So if your guide is very supportive of what you think and you want to do, then your PhD is, I won't say half achieved, but it is going good. But if your guide is always, on your head, and he wants you to, he always wants the results, and he pressurizes you about the same, then I think it's a bit, it becomes a tougher journey then. Yes.
Okay. And does a student get the opportunity to choose their own guide?
Yes, of course we do. And in the joint program that I'm enrolled in, which is between IITH and Deakin University, Australia, I did get a set of topics along with the people who had designed them, and then I had to choose my guide accordingly. So yes, of course, we get to choose our guides, and many people actually go about, like, once they have qualified their exams, they go about emailing the professors that they want to work under. So they choose their professor, they choose the kind of work that they want to do, and if the professor has a vacancy in the lab, so they are taking him.
Okay. And should we also research about the guides before getting into a PhD program? Like, what all do you suggest that we should look in a guide before pursuing a PhD under them?
I think because you're pursuing research, it's very important that you research before you come for research. You actually have to know the person that you are going to pursue a degree under, because he's the person who's going to guide you. He's the person who's going to be your family for the next 5 years. and maybe after that too. So it's very important that we see how other students are being treated in the lab. We also see the progress that the person that we are enrolling under has made. We also see like how is his like collaborations and how is his lab, is it well set up, like do they have projects and all of that. I think that's what we should look in, like at the first instance, I would say.
Okay, and how did you decide that you want to do a PhD? How did you take this difficult decision? What was your mindset at that time?
Yes, I think I was very apprehensive when I was deciding whether I wanted to go for a PhD or not, and because as I said that it is a long commitment, and I knew that I had to not just commit to this and live through all the years and possibly give good make a good PhD, because I didn't just want to do a PhD, but I wanted to do a good PhD. And it's not like my PhD is done, I'm just in the second year. But I'll say that at that time, I think my aim was to go, and because I was selected in the joint program, so I was given the opportunity to decide among the various topics that were present there and choose my guide on my own. So I did my research and I decided that I'll go with the guide that I chose and with the topic, because I did a little research about the topic, I did a little research about the guide, and I found that this is possibly something that I would want to do. And then when I came over to join, because when I was enrolled it was a time of COVID and things were not very fine, and the situation was that we had to continue for the first 6 months from our homes, like online. So after 6 months when I came here, I joined the lab and I felt like no, I really want to do this because I was interested in not just the topic but also the kind of work that my guide and the people in my lab had already done. So yeah.
Okay, and what is your PhD topic over here and how has it been so far for you?
I think it has been a roller coaster. Like I'll just sum it up like that. My PhD topic is about, basically my lab is more into printing, 3D print, three-dimensional printing, and we are into like tissues and cells and everything. So what we aim at is making functional tissues, and my topic is more about the use of 4D bioprinting to construct a functional tissue. So this far I've not achieved much, but I'm in the process of learning more and more. I'd say, because I'm about to finish my second year in some months, but I'll say that it's going okay, but we have not achieved so much so far. Like there's a long way to go.
Okay, and what are the career paths that a person can take after their PhD? What all can they explore?
Yes, I think again when you come to our lab and you see people, again they have different perspectives on what they want to do, and it's not like everybody wants to be a professor. No, like many people in research want to be researchers, like real researchers. So you can be a researcher, you can be an academician, you can be anything. Like you can choose corporate jobs after PhD, whatever you want to. Like there are opportunities, and I think they are diversifying as you hold bigger degrees or higher degrees, not bigger but higher degrees. So yeah.
I've heard a lot of people go for postdoc after PhD. What exactly is that?
Okay, so postdoc is actually, many institutes now actually make it mandatory for an assistant professor to have a postdoc, otherwise they won't take them in. So now postdoc is a mandatory degree for professors. So many people go for postdocs for that reason, but others go for because they want to be independent researchers. Like as a postdoc student, you will be able to guide other people under you, and you will be able to carry independent researchers. So that's more the reason why people go for postdocs.
And how long is the postdoc?
Like it can range from 6 months to 5 years. Anything in between. So it can be as short as 6 months or 1 year to 5 years or 6 years. Like many of the people who work at IITs, which I know, who I know, are who have had 5 years of postdoc. Like after they complete their PhD, they had 5 years of postdoc. So yeah.
Okay, so that makes like 10 years of commitment. 10 years towards a particular topic.
Yeah, not particular topic. No, actually you can change your topic in your postdoc. Yeah,
Okay.
you can work on anything.
Okay.
That's what I think research is all about. It's more like
It's
you
like
are free.
marriage.
But you are free to choose anything anytime.
Okay.
But that's not like in the case in marriage. Like in marriage you have to be committed and you have to have certain rules laid out. So, but in like research, you can do anything, anytime, whatever you wish to. So you have the what do I call it? You have the freedom to do whatever you want.
I have a lot of friends who are pursuing a PhD right now, and a few of them have lost their zeal, in between, and they're kind of depressed now. And they're double-minded whether they should continue into this program or should they drop out. So what would you like to suggest those people?
I think again I tell you, because sometimes you don't get somewhere. Like sometimes it takes so long. Like there are people who have been in PhD for 7 years, and 7 years is a very long time. So I think sometimes you don't get to where you want to go. Sometimes people around you, for example, your guide only, he puts stress about you not getting anywhere. So I think all of this combined together depresses a person. Like naturally it would, anyone. So now for them, I think it's like, if you have gotten here, always remember the reason why you took that first step of getting here. So, but again, whatever you feel is right at that very moment. I think if you feel like dropping out is the best option, then you should. But if you feel like continuing is the best option, then you should. Like whatever you feel is right, because it's you doing that, and we're different. All of us are different individuals, and we have different lives and we have different perspectives, and I think that matters the most, not what others think.
Okay.
That's more important. Yeah.
Thank you. That's quite well summed up. So my last question would be, I'm sure that there are a lot of students out there who are watching this video and are planning on pursuing a PhD in their life, probably at this point or later in life. So is there any advice or something that you would like to tell them to assess whether they are ready to take this kind of a long commitment or not?
I think the interest is the first thing, and second is whether you are patient enough to, for this commitment or not. The interest comes first, the patience comes next, and then I think the passion develops. Like once you work on something, the passion develops. Like I was not passionate about PhD when I opted for it, but I think now my passion has developed about it. So when I think about PhD, I think about a degree that is making me, breaking me, teaching me, and helping me learn and unlearn at the same time. So,
okay, thank you so much, Lubna, for being here on our channel and enlightening all the students and all the people who are watching this video. Thank you so much, and you've given major insights about PhD. I'm sure this has definitely helped people in understanding whether they want to pursue a PhD
I think
or
all
not.
this time I've been looking at you and not in the camera, so I excuse all of you guys who are watching this, because I think I was looking at the anchor, not in the camera. I'm sorry.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
If you have any other questions, you can drop it down in the comment section below, and we'll try our best to make a second version of this video, or a second part, in which we'll try to answer all your questions. So please put them in the comment section. Thank you.
Thank you.